All right, Ryan, what were your top initial concerns heading into hiring remotely for the first time, and what was the outcome?
Okay, so trying to keep track of what they're doing, I guess, was one. Um, because I don't see them inside the office every day, so that's just a different thing for me. Um, the making the marketing calls, I guess just the office flow part of it. Um, and honestly, it was just kind of it's just not a part. I was not in my comfort zone. Like it was not a normal practice. So there was just I was just anxious with that. That was my biggest, I mean, the whole thing really. So, I mean, for me to do it, I felt like I just I'd kind of thought about it in the past and I just needed I've been standing on the ledge. I just need someone to give me a nudge and shove me in the water.
All right, all
So
right.
that's what you guys
I'm
kind of
pretty
did.
good at that.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially on that second event. I'm like, good luck.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
I love it.
it's been good. Like I said, I guess I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable now. So it's good.
All right, all right. What was your favorite part about hiring remotely? Was it the candidates?
It was the candidates. Just because the quality of the candidates and the people that you're talking to is, I mean, it's hard for me to put, I mean, 1,000,000% better than what I've been, having to deal with just with local
Yeah.
people and in person. So yeah, by far, like that just personally, just I mean, it was from basically the first round of interviews. I was just revived from the very beginning. I'm like, let's go. All right, we got some good people we're talking to today. So, um, yeah, the candidates were a big, big deal.
Awesome. Awesome. I love that. And how do you plan on creating an in-office culture in a remote setting?
I'm going to have everybody, um, here at State Farm, we have everything through Microsoft Teams.
Mm,
So I'm just going to have everybody's going to be on Teams every day.
perfect.
Basically, you get into the office, those people get to their desk, or wherever. I just ask that everybody's clothed. Um, just kidding. Um, but
Mm.
it's going to be a lot easier to have a fun team office environment when everybody's on teams together. Because you're not seeing people every day if you're not doing it that way, and we want to make it so that everybody
Yeah.
feels like a part of a winning team, and that and I think that's the best way to go about doing
Awesome.
that.
No lonely islands. I like it.
Mm.
If another agent was looking into potentially being remote, but was a bit anxious, maybe a little bit scared, what would you tell them?
Just do it.
Now I
Like,
knew I knew you were gonna say just do it. I was like, he's
I,
gonna
I,
say
I
just do
mean,
it.
yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I'd been on the ledge about it, and now that I've jumped in, I'm like, God, why didn't I do this earlier? And well, my buddy that sat in with us yesterday, he and I had talked about it in the past, and I mean, I called him and said, "Well, here we go." Like I just jumped in, so let's go. And I think that because I basically gave him that advice, right? Like, just do it.
Yeah.
And that's what he was on there. And now he's like, yeah, I think I got to do it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so, it's one of those things. If you hem haw around, I mean, I think you're just uh, there's going to be a cost for you for not doing it. You're going to realize that you're leaving opportunity on the table, um, and leaving money
Yeah.
on the table the longer you wait.
Yep. I mean, I would say it's limiting beliefs versus empowering beliefs. If you jump in and you don't think you can do it, guess what? You ain't going to do it. But if you
Yep.
jump in and you think you can do it, it's a matter of perception.
Yep.
And that seems to be a trend with every single agent that comes and does a remote package. If you come in, you have fun, you meet these people, you take them seriously, you set the expectations, you get all the things lined up that are gonna are increase your chances of success in aerospace, you'll be just fine. There's no difference from being, we could be sitting in front of each other right now. And
Yeah.
what's the difference? If I have bad breath, you can't smell it. That's probably the only difference, you know? So I appreciate you doing this with me here, Ryan.
Well, and not only that, I think that it's a whole new growth stream that frankly, there's no other way for you to do it. I mean, if you, and we've talked kind of about my strategy, my longer term deal and how I want to grow and then continue to grow is, that's there's no way for me locally to have that. I
Yeah,
can't I can't have that growth strategy locally without the remote. I
I
just
agree.
can't.
I agree.
And especially where I can find people as skilled as what I could find here.
I
So,
agree. And one last question. This isn't even on my questions, but I'm curious because I know you're one of, actually, you are the only agent I've ever known that's done it. You hired someone remotely that is unlicensed and put them through boot camp. Could you tell me what you saw in the candidate that enabled you to be willing to take that risk?
you know, um, he had great question or great answers to my questions in the interview. Um, but he also has some finance background doing the mortgages, and he's had to go out and he's had to eat what he kills. And there was just a lot of things that work together because for us, we're a value sale. You have to be able to have some, financial conversations and money conversations. And, you know, when he's in his mortgage, he's got to have the getting to know their families and has the conversation with them when they're talking about buying the house and all those things. And, his background, he's getting ready to him and his wife are getting ready to have a kid. So that guy, he's like, man, I gotta go
Hungry.
get it. And
Yeah.
he's hungry. And also even after all those things, I always just have to have a gut feel for it. If my gut tells me that I don't know that he's the right guy, I don't go. And my gut told me he was the right guy. And I even talked to them about, my plan and my future for this team. And he's like all in. Like, I got to be a part of this team. I mean, I told him, this is going to be something you're not going to be starting right now. You got to get your licenses, and this is something I told him initially. I said, it could be 9 months down the road. He's like, well, whenever it is, I'm in.
So it's fair to say that you sold him and he reflected the energy that you sold him.
Correct. Yeah.
Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Thank
Yep.
you for sharing that with me, Ryan.
Yep. Absolutely.